Looking for ideas for a simple but fun children's table for Thanksgiving? Well, I've got 3 ideas for you. Welcome to This and That with Denise Jordan. I teach women how to make wise home health and beauty decisions so there's less chaos in their homes, they lead healthier lives, and they feel beautiful from the inside out. And today, we're tackling the chaos that so often comes along with holiday time. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays, and I think it's just because it's that time where we get together with our families and we count the blessings that we have. Regardless of where we are in life, there are things that we can be thankful for, and Thanksgiving reminds me of that. So when I thought about our family gathering for Thanksgiving, I wanted to put together a table that was very simple and very kid-friendly. And with my youngest grandchildren, anything you put on that table is going to be picked up, looked at, turned over, explored in any way they can, and possibly even licked. So it had to be very simple, very kid-friendly, and not something that I have to worry about whether or not it got broken or anything like that. I have some really cute little pumpkin salt and pepper shakers, and my husband was like, well, why don't you put those on the table? And I said, those are glass. So I didn't want to use those, but I did want to use something that did kind of speak to Thanksgiving, but also speak to the age group of the children that I was working with. So let me show you what I came up with. So here's my children's table, and it's very, very simple. And I really wanted something that was simple enough that any mom could set this up, or any grandmom could set this up and not feel like they had to be Martha Stewart to accomplish it. One of the things that you'll notice is that the table is somewhat monochromatic, lots of browns and oranges, and then you've got the white picked up from your little coloring placemat. I wanted to keep it very simple, very clean, but also something that fit the color scheme for the season. I didn't want anything that was too fussy. So at each child's place setting, as you can see, you've got their goodie bag, a set of crayons. Let's talk about what's in the goodie bag. There's a collection of fruit, something very simple. You've got some grapes, an apple slice, and an orange slice, as well as a package of Lorna Doone cookies. Now, you don't have to use Lorna Doones, but I like these as a choice because, first of all, there's 4 very tiny cookies in here. They're not very sweet, just simple shortbread, but it's just enough to take the edge off their hunger, or they could just eat the fruit. But each child would have this, and it would be enough just to kind of keep them, maybe just enough to kind of hold them over until you actually get your dinner on the table for them. As you take a look at the centerpiece that I have on the table, you notice it's very, very simple. It's just a little cutout that I got at the dollar store. You just put it together. It's got glitter on it, so you can see there's some glitter sparkles on the table. And you just set it together like that. And then a couple cinnamon scented pine cones, and they're just set there on the table. And again, it's along with that monochromatic feel that I've got on this table. So if they get dropped, it's not a big deal. And if this gets knocked over or dropped, it's not a problem either. And then once we're ready to serve dinner, we can just collect the bags and then just put the plate in place. So let's deconstruct the table and show you how simple it really is to put this together. A table this size will probably hold about 6 little ones. So the first thing I wanted to do was lay the placemats where I thought I wanted the children to sit. And I just put the 2 pieces of the turkey together, and it's just a simple Dollar Tree centerpiece, and then drop the pine cones in place. And then I placed the goodie bags where I wanted them. I got a box of crayons from the Dollar Tree. There were 48 crayons in a box, and I just divided the crayons into 6 equal parts and tied a little bit of raffia around them and set them on the table. And then once dinner is ready to be served, just collect the things off the table and put the paper plates in place. And some people choose to go with paper plates for the children just because they're colorful, and again, you don't have to worry so much about breakage. And you can always get really pretty napkins that complement the plates. Now, cups proved to be a problem this Thanksgiving season. For some reason, I could not find cups to complement the plates. I don't know if I waited too long to look, but I could not find cups anywhere that matched the plates. So I went with just simple white party cups. And then get your flatware on the table and you're good to go. And you can choose to use plasticware. And then there are those people who really don't care for paper plates. So on this particular setting, these are just my everyday dishes. They're my small luncheon size plates, but they're everyday dishes. I've got about 12 or 13 of them, so if one falls off the table and we have a little bit of breakage, it's not a big deal. And then I put these maple leaf place cards with the children's names on them. Now this particular children's table is quite interesting. This is a DIY or do-it-yourself for those moms who want to make something that they're really pretty sure is going to keep their children occupied. So this is just a piece of brown craft paper, and I drew some pictures of turkeys and acorns and pumpkins and maple leaves, just things associated with fall here on the paper. And you can see them there, and I'll zoom in so you can see them a little bit better. You can see that this table is not real fancy. It is fun and it's functional and it's simple, and that's what you want. So keep in mind when you're trying to put together your children's table and you want to keep them occupied, simple, fun, but functional. So here we've got turkeys and acorns and different things like this that they can take a packet of crayons out of the basket and they can sit there and color. They can take a package of cookies or graham crackers or whatever you have, just something simple that won't take their appetite too well, but it'll keep them busy while you're trying to get the food on the table. So simple but functional. And if there's spills, it's just brown paper, and underneath the brown paper is just a brown cloth. So you want to keep it simple, functional, but fun. Now let me show you how I put this together. First of all, I just got brown craft paper. I picked it up at Hobby Lobby. It was $4.99 for a roll, but I did have a 40% off coupon for that. And I put it on the table, measured it to where I wanted it to fit. Then I creased a fold for a cut line. Once I got it cut out for the length that I wanted it, then I need to measure it for the width that I wanted it to be. The big thing about this paper though, when it's rolled up, when you try to unroll it, it keeps wanting to roll back on itself. So I flipped it over so that I could take a little bit of the curl out of it. Then I creased the edge just so I could have another idea of where I needed to cut it. I just set aside the extra. I can probably do something with it later, but in the meantime, I just needed to get it out of my way. And once I got the paper smoothed out, I thought I would tape the edges just to kind of keep it in place a little bit to help take some of that curl out of it. And then I wouldn't also have to worry about it moving or curling up on me while I was trying to trace my templates. And I needed to know exactly where I wanted to place each child, so I took the size luncheon plates that I thought I would probably use and just kind of put them on the paper where I thought the children would sit, and placed just a little bit of mark there, one that was almost imperceptible, so I would know where to trace my turkey. I wanted the turkey to be the centerpiece for each seat. And this particular turkey is a template that I got from the Martha Stewart website. I'll link it below in case you're interested in getting one of those for yourselves and trying this particular project. But it was just so simple to do. And I just traced the turkey on each of the place settings where I thought the children would be. Once I figured out where I wanted my turkeys to be placed, then I cut out my acorns, and I just cut the acorn out from a coloring template that I had, and I traced the acorns on. And once I put the outline of the acorn on, then I took a pencil and filled it in just a little bit for the top part of the acorn. And then I cut out some pumpkin templates, and I traced on pumpkins, maple leaves, acorns, just things that the children have learned to associate with fall and Thanksgiving. So here you can see a little bit better picture of those traced elements. And then I put a basket of crayons in the middle of the table in the little packet, so the little ones can just reach in and grab a packet of crayons with the little packages of cookies in the baskets on the side. And then my sweet husband took a marker and went over all of the little pictures that I had drawn on the craft paper. He felt like they needed to show up a little bit more for the kids. He's a retired art teacher, so I take his expertise in that area. Thank you so much for joining me as I put together these ideas for a children's table for Thanksgiving. I am always in search of new ideas, so if you've got some ideas that you can share with me that make Thanksgiving fun, simple, but also very kid-friendly, please tell me about it in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that share button, and please subscribe. And hit that little bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. I'll see you in the next video. This is Denise Jordan saying goodbye.